Hey everybody. So I'm Matthew Calvo. I'm a sophomore in Purdue's Construction Engineering and Management program. And over the summer, I was fortunate enough to intern with the Walsh Group over in the New York, New Jersey area. I started off for the first 7 weeks of the 12-week program in the estimating office, got a sense for the corporate side of the industry, and then bounced out to Manhattan and was working on the Lower Manhattan Coastal Resiliency Project. So just kind of doing a seawall demo and then building it back up to raise the grade so that way we Manhattan would be more protected against any storm surges. And then kicked it out to Queens, where I was working on a vertical tunneling project on the New York City DEP Water Tunnel number 3, and that was vertical shaft 17B. So I started off in the estimating office, and some of my day-to-day responsibilities were outreach, some takeoffs and general certifications and dock control. So the first thing I started with was outreach. So at the time, we were working on the Palisades Tunnel project, which is phase 1 of the entire Hudson tunnel that would now be created in correspondence to the owner, the Gateway Development Commission. So I was responsible for soliciting proposals for several scopes of the work, concrete pumps, asphalt, any type of just general flat work that had to be going on, the access road to get onto the site. So we were in kind of the final weeks leading up to the bid submission date. So my main responsibility was kind of compiling all of those subcontractor proposals, soliciting them myself first, and just kind of leveling them off so that way we could review them ourselves. And then once that was submitted, I was still in the estimating office for a couple weeks post bid submission. So then we moved on to our next project, which was the Fermilab Neutrino facility over in Chicago. So I was utilizing 3D CAD modeling to streamline the takeoffs, which the team found pretty cool because nobody really thought to do that before. They're obviously more seasoned in the field, so they're able to visualize things in ways that I can't really yet. So for now, I took the contract drawings, put them into Fusion 360, and basically CAD'ed the underground cavern that we were doing takeoffs on. That way I was able to visualize it a lot more and then use those in my presentations when I was presenting my numbers to the rest of the team. And then just day to day, just general certifications and dock control. When I was on the Palisades Tunnel project, we had a high DBE percentage mandated by the owner. So pretty much I was just reviewing their certifications and then filing all their forms and making sure that all participating DBEs, were kind of all closed out by the time that we had to submit our proposal. And then my mentor, Michelle, she was responsible for holding the weekly meetings. So when I joined the team, she then allowed me to run the weekly meetings, which was pretty cool. So every Friday, I'd have everybody around the table, the whole office, probably around 30 people, and I'd just kind of facilitate that meeting, alongside the rest of our regional operations and management staff, and just kind of take notes and make sure that everybody was all accounted for in terms of what they did this week, make sure that they hit their goals, and then kind of see what they're going to be up to for next week. So then when I moved out to the field, I started at LMCR, the Lower Manhattan Coastal Resiliency Project, and our main demolition subcontractor was coming to their kind of like conclusion with our project. All the demo was done, and they were getting ready to move off site. So I just kind of compiled a comprehensive expense report of what they were doing, what they were responsible for, and they finished a month early. So that was a huge benefit. So I just kind of escalated my numbers another month to see what would it cost if we went at full term, and pretty much everything aligned with our initial cost estimates. So everything worked out pretty good, and all the numbers added up. But I was just kind of tallying their labor and the equipment cost and the fuel cost, and just use some of my estimating background from the previous 7 weeks to kind of apply it to the field. I was also working with a lot of the muck that we pulled, all the timber piles that we were pulling out of the seawall. All that got mucked into a hopper barge and then taken over to New Jersey, where it was then offloaded into roll-off dumpsters. And I was just making sure that those cycling processes went smoothly. So in addition to that, I was also working on the rigging inventory. We were driving a lot of pin piles, so there was a lot of rigging going on, and they trained us. I got my basic qualified rigging training and got certified, and just kind of managed the inventory of all the equipment, making sure that everything was up to grade, and just making sure that everything would go smoothly and there'd be no errors. And just kind of alongside that, I was collecting the task hazard assessments, the THAs, every day, just from all the labor foremen. And then over in Queens, I was working at Shaft 17B on the New York City Water Tunnel and just kind of managed their resaleable equipment inventory. So there was a lot of excavator attachments that we had on the site for the different things that we were doing, and a lot of them weren't getting used, and a lot of them were in very good shape. So those things cost a lot of money, and there's a huge market for reselling them. So just kind of tallied all that up, see what we could get for it, and then submitted my numbers to the project manager, and he was able to get a lot of those items sold, and we made a lot of the money back. And then in addition, while I was there, we got a change order. So it was a change order for site expansion, to kind of just expand out into the street a little bit and take up a lane of traffic temporarily. So just kind of had to monitor all the Jersey barriers and kind of get some numbers worked together and perform some takeoffs for how much we would be going into the road, and then go around and spray paint, just get all the cars off the street. Anybody that was parked there, just put up some signs and make sure that all of that would go smoothly. And then just generally just reviewed the subcontractor submittal obligations. Obviously, it was a government project, so there are a lot of submittal obligations on both the general contractor side and the subcontractor side. So just for some of our subs that were moving off site and were finishing up their term, we would just make sure that all of their submittal obligations were met. So just some key lessons and takeaways. A lot of the softwares and programs that I was using on a day-to-day basis, I had never seen before. These consist of Bluebeam and AutoCAD and SmartBid and eBuilder, MicroStation, and just a lot of very comprehensive programs and stuff that I had never seen before. So this has helped me in a very, very big way, mainly because now, as I'm a sophomore still in the program and now kind of entering the major post FYE and T2M processes, I'm now taking classes where I'm learning all of these softwares. So it's kind of good to have a little pre-exposure to it. Now going into these classes, definitely have the upper advantage as opposed to people who haven't seen it before. And then obviously takeoff and drawing analysis. So I had never seen contract drawings before. I didn't know how to analyze MEP or any types of SOE, supportive excavation, or just any of the general systems that you would find on a contract drawing. I had never seen them before, and I didn't know how to interpret them myself. So learned how to do that on a wide scope of projects, different tunneling projects, vertical and horizontal, and then LMCR and a Kensico project, which I was shortly involved with, upstate New York, which is another tunnel. And just a lot of different projects and a lot of different types of heavy civil work, that I was able to, kind of see the different contract drawings and where the overlap was, in terms of how to interpret them. And then took takeoffs from the drawings, learned how to perform them myself, mainly using Bluebeam to do a lot of the heavy lifting on that. And it was very interesting to see how all of that was able to come together and how quickly I was able to pick it up. And then just some general heavy civil techniques in the equipment, different types of SOE, soldier piles, pin piles, C-camp piles, sheet piles, and just kind of understanding how those intertwined with the work that I'd be doing. And then obviously we were working with tunnels, so TBM machines and excavation by rail, along with some rock X cycles. And then, as I previously mentioned, I got my basic qualified rigging training at LMCR. And then going forward, plan to continue to pursue my bachelor's in construction engineering, maybe even a minor in management, and that's going to be expected 2027. Future positions, I hope to, maybe join the estimating department. And I thoroughly enjoyed the corporate side of the atmosphere, even though a lot of people actually don't. But I had a great experience with Walsh and the team that I was working on in there, and I'd be more than happy to pursue that line of work. And then if I was out in the field, I'd probably go the superintendent route. I like dealing with subcontractors and being social and being out in the field and, not just hiding in an office trailer or, anything that would require me to be away from the actual job site. So I like having the boots on the ground. And just in correspondence to what the company suggested, continue to network. I'm only 19 years old. I have to continue to expand my network, keep up with people, keep up with the industry, keep in touch with my co-interns and my mentors and everybody else at Walsh and all the subcontractors we were dealing with, and just continue to expand my network while I'm still young and still have the opportunities to. But overall, huge thanks to everybody at Purdue and CEM program and all of the Lyle's LSCC program and just helping me land this internship. And then, of course, everybody over at Walsh for a fantastic summer. So thanks for listening to what I did this summer, and hopefully you got a little bit out of it. And anybody else that's willing to pursue this type of field and this type of industry, it's exciting work, and I highly recommend it. a year ago today, I never would have thought I'd be doing stuff like this. And the amount of stuff that I was able to learn in 12-week span was breathtaking. And it was overall a very good experience. So thanks for watching.